Bridget, so glad to have you here. So glad to be connected with you as always. Love everything you have going on. Question here on Reinvention
Andrew.
Daily. Of course, question here on Reinvention Daily for you is how have you reinvented your business right now?
Well, I'm not going to say it's as much of a reinvent as it is a pivot for me. I've had to pivot in a way that I build relationships and the way that I make and keep connections. I've been running Creative Vortex since 2006, so self-employed for just under 14 years now. And 95% of my relationships and connections were all made in person. I spent a lot of time and energy building that foundation through networking and volunteering, which was all in person, face to face. So the transition from in person to online was a little rough for me. There were days that I was definitely on the struggle bus for sure. I think I tried to participate in too many webinars, too many Zoom meetings, tried to really make up for that in-person connection that I was lacking. Quickly realized that the Zoom fatigue is real and that I was not serving my creative brain. So now I'm focused on having less meetings, participating in less webinars, and really just focusing on email to be more productive, and then incorporate back into my routine the self-care that I used to have before my routine was thrown off, such as my daily workouts, taking weekends off, because every day feels like the same day. So really kind of sticking to that up at the same time, bed at the same time type of Monday through Friday routine. It's easy to forget, at least for me sometimes, that you need to take care of yourself, and especially when you're creative, things don't, you kind of lack that synergy that happens when you get out of that. So for me, that was a big change, which was never a struggle before, but it became a struggle through this. So that's kind of what I've been doing as a pivot. And again, I think it's kind of all an experiment at this point, but we'll see what happens.
I love it. I love everything you've just gone through. You've really honed in on, just the power of what I've been trying to pull out, in that first question. I would say, yes, you haven't reinvented the business too much, but it's been a personal reinvention. Just, you said, finding that routine and getting back to step one, going back to the basics. And I think that's what matters most right now. And I love and I appreciate you sharing that with us. And it leads me to my next question. And for you, Bridget, for being, a branding expert in all you do with graphic design and branding, like how should we be rethinking the way that we brand ourselves as we move forward out of this?
Yeah, and again, I'm going to kind of reword the question a little bit. So not as much as a reinvent versus like a honing or sharpening of the brand, I would say. I am all about the why. So being true to your why is what creates authenticity and sets you apart. Now, if you are not sure about your why, I would take this time to figure that out, lock that down. Take this time to think about your purpose, your mission statements, your value statements. Do these still ring true? Are they still relevant? Do they still speak to your customer? Maybe the last time you looked at these was a decade ago or back in 2008 when we had the last, challenge. What's different 12 years later? How have your customers changed for the last, maybe 12 years? And then what's changing as your clients move forward? Touch base with your clients and your customer. Find out what they need. What will they need today? What do they need in 3 to 6 months? And understand that your value proposition to them, will probably change for a little while. And what does that look like? How do you need to adjust your marketing efforts to reach them?